Good morning, Dylan. I'd like to start off saying apologizing for the delay on this. I lost a bit of time last week during my normal Monday time. I kind of overslept, so I missed that. And then ever since then, I've had a couple midterms, went on a camp out, played some soccer, some football, and then there's school. Oh, and my brother got to come back, so we hung out this weekend and got to catch up because we haven't talked in 2 months or so now. So it was a good time for me. And in case you can't tell, my voice is a little scratchy, a little sore between yelling at football games and other things. We have a competition for all the fraternities. Yes, I did join Phi Kappa Theta. Uh, it's a competition where basically a mix of yelling and choreography, and we compete to see who wins for homecoming. So that uses a lot of my voice. Normally, I don't lose my voice, but this is a bit of an exception. So, and I was kind of wondering how seriously Drake fraternities are, because here at Iowa State it's kind of a big deal. Like, we live in the houses. I mean, I'm not in a dorm, and it's competitive between the fraternities, and like you are a member of a certain fraternity. I mean, and I think we have probably 15% of Iowa State being in a fraternity. I think that's pretty good compared to most colleges. So I was wondering how Drake did on that. Yeah. So I've noticed procrastination. It somewhat works as well as it did in high school, but the biggest problem is that when I do have homework, it's a lot more homework, like for a certain date. I mean, high school kind of like was evenly spread out, but I mean, I did most of that just during other classes, so I never really had that much homework in high school. But since I tend to have a spirit where I procrastinate as long as possible if I can be talking with someone or taking care of something, I usually don't end up taking care of my homework here till 10 or 11, and then I'll have like 4 hours of engineering or chem homework. So then I end up staying up till like 3 and then getting up for my 8 o'clock class. So I end up being tired quite a bit. But and then I don't usually take naps except for my Monday, Friday nap. It feels nice. I just woke well, it's been an hour now, but I woke up eventually. Okay, and the first of my questions for you. Well, I like the fact that you gave me a question that I can just answer with more questions. I'm not sure if that actually then counts as an answer if you answer a question with questions, but you're asking in your question for questions. So is it an answer? Is it a question? I don't know. I don't. Okay, anyway. My first question is, it seems like at college people tend to be more cynical. I don't know if that's Iowa State or the people I know, or maybe it's just that our group of friends were just so awesome and nerdy that none of us were cynical. But I feel like people expect less of people, and then in turn, they aren't as open and full hearted and just willing to be who they want to be here. I mean, yeah, I don't know how else to phrase that. But, and also, I have, is there like a set person we're meant to be? Or are we just constantly shaped by the people around us? Because personally, I feel like I've been less nerdy as of recently because more of the people I live with aren't like full blown nerds. and I'm not completely a fan. But on another hand, it helps me be more active. Like I said earlier, I've been playing football and soccer. I mean, I like doing those things, but I mean, I also like my nerd time. I don't get much time for games except for late night on the weekends. Uh, and then just the average question of, are people naturally good or evil? And my addition onto that is just like, I in my religion class, like there's Taoism, which uh, people are naturally good, but then there are things to help them. And then Confucianism, people are naturally evil and they need to be educated, and then there need to be set structures to help them. So, I mean, you can always talk about that, add that in. Ooh, funny story to add into that is our teacher was telling us how Winnie the Pooh is a great example of Taoism. Basically, well, Pooh is the Tao. Like, he follows all those set scriptures. Like, he doesn't worry about one thing or another. And then, like, Tigger, Piglet, Roo, I'm forgetting Eeyore, uh, and they exemplify the errors or the problems that the Tao faces. And I just found it funny how that was just a simple story to explain that. Uh, and this question is stolen, but I think it's a great question. How old would you call yourself if you didn't know how old you were? So like you know how old you are. I mean, I'm 19. I mean, but I've been trying to think, how old am I? I I don't really know how to answer it. I mean, because you are as old as you feel. I don't even know if that's completely true because you are just old. Well, you aren't old, but old people are old. But yeah, so that'll help you in your conversations, I hope. Anyway, I think that's all I have for now. Have a good time. Bye bye.